And that's what I had to come to grips with after 2 years. Is I look back and I realized I wasn't making progress. I was just fooling myself into thinking I was. So what I had to do is realize, number one, okay, well, this is my first time posting video, but I just want to share my story of how I waited 2 years to start my business. I waited 2 years before I actually took action. I don't know who this is going to reach, but I know there's a lot of people like me who they have a dream, whether it's starting a business, whether it's taking the next step in their career, whether it's, starting a blog, joining some club or whatever. You have some dream, and you get all excited and you get passionate about it, and you decide to research it, and you learn and you research, but there's something that holds you back, some weakness. For me, it was fear of failure. There's something that holds you back from actually achieving your goal. And so you go about researching it and you go about learning, and in your mind, you're making progress, but in reality, you're not. And that's what I had to come to grips with after 2 years. Is I look back and I realized I wasn't making progress. I was just fooling myself into thinking I was. And so what I had to do is realize, number one, what I actually had to do. What was the hard thing that I had to do in order to take the next step towards my goal? That was the first thing. What was the thing holding me back? And for me, it was fear of failure. What are people going to think of me? And the second is time. So I was working a full-time job. I would get back and I would tell myself I work 2 hours a night. But I don't know about you, but when you get back from a job, that's the last thing you want to do. And so instead, I would hem and haw and kind of half work the 2 hours, and I wouldn't put in enough effort. I didn't have the time. And so what I had to do is I had to make the jump to go part-time with my job, give myself 16 extra hours in the week. And so first I had to get over fear of failure, and I still am getting rid of that fear. And the second was I had to take a leap to give myself more time. Each of us have the same amount of time in a day. Poorest person in America has the same time as the richest person in America. The question is, what are you doing with that time? And I'm not saying it has to be about money. I'm saying, what are you doing with your time, to further your goals? For me, I'm a Christian, and so everything I do is to glorify God. And so what am I doing with my time to glorify God? Another goal of mine is to start a business. What am I doing with my time to start my business? And once I realized that, I stopped taking action in my mind and checking off boxes in my mind that I never actually achieved in real life. And I started actually taking action. When you take action, you do two things. You reinforce preconceived notions that you had, and you encourage yourself to take more action and take the next step. Because whatever your goal is, there's going to be hard things. But are you actually hitting the hard thing head on? Or are you retreating and only going to the parts of your goal that are easy? And checking off in your mind that I'm achieving my goal. And so what I had to do is realize, hey, there's these hard things over here that I'm avoiding. And instead of retreating or instead of kind of dabbling in it, instead I had to hit them straight on. And I guarantee anyone that's watching this, you have a goal number one, that you're trying to do. But number two, I know there is a hard thing in your life that you need to overcome and that you're not. And I had to realize what that hard thing was. And then now I am realizing how to overcome it. And that's what this channel is about, is just for you guys to see what those hard things for me are in starting my business. And just you guys get to watch me fail. You guys get to watch me overcome those hard things. And hopefully that would encourage you guys to tackle your own hard things. You know, whether it's starting a business, like I said, or, you know, maybe you're just trying to take the next step in your career. Nothing wrong with that. If you like the 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with that. Just realize it's going to be hard. You know, starting out this business, I recognize I'm going to have to work really hard. I'm going to have to learn. I'm going to have to fail. And so once you realize what actually is ahead of you, you know, we all have this romantic picture whenever we get a goal or we're passionate about something. We have this romantic picture of what it's going to be like. And it never really ends up like that. Usually things are harder than we think. And so whether you're just starting out or whether you're trying to take the next step, you know, kind of get a reality check and realize, yeah, it is worth it. But realize, hey, it's going to be hard. It's unreasonable that it would not be hard. If you want to have big goals, then get ready for big hardships. And so, you know, number one, recognize there's going to be hardships. And then number two, recognize what the hardships are and just do a reality check. And so, you know, that's just something I wanted to share. It's a journey for me. And if you're interested in achieving your goals, if you're interested in seeing someone make mistakes and learning from their mistakes, then follow this channel, because I am doing the thing that I fear most, sharing my mistakes with others. My big fear is fear of failure and fear of what other people think. So I'm conflicting that fear by posting it online. And so if you're interested in that sort of thing, follow me as I try and grow my website business. And I will share my website business tips as well as just general life tips that I learn. And so thanks. If you've reached the end of this video, thanks for watching. Get ready for more content. Thanks.